this is a TikTok influencer, goes by NYC Gay Dad. And he just talks about his life, you know, just general stuff. He's gay, he lives in New York City, he has kids. So he kind of includes all that information, and it's just like a vlog or whatever. Oh boy, has the right come after this guy. It's insane. There's a guy named Stu Peters, if you don't know him. It's this guy right here. He came at NYC Gay Dad like you would not believe. So I want to talk about this. By the way, this happened in February of 2024. It's a little bit older, but it's worth talking about today, I think.
Guess what I had to wake up to this morning? Look at this.
Brace yourselves. There's this new viral TikTok video by some creep named Jose Rolón, who goes by the handle of NYC Gay Dad. And in this video,
Just a quick note here. I mean, this guy's name is public, but by putting it on blast to a malicious audience of Nazis, he's a Nazi, by the way, full-blown Nazi. Not because I don't like him. He's actually like a Hitler lover. To put his name on blast to other people who also love Hitler, hate black people, hate Jews, hate all these other demographics, hate immigrants, so on and so forth. To do that, it's just wrong. He knows what he's doing. Stu Peters does. And you know what? Let me just establish that for you. Not Stu Peters, but Libs of TikTok, the Twitter account, Libs of TikTok. Shia Raichik is her name, I think. There's an article on NBC News written about her. After Libs of TikTok posted, at least 21 bomb threats followed. I mean, this is like a common occurrence. This happens every single time she posts something. People get bomb threats. I mean, she talked about Boston Children's Hospital and claimed that they were like giving surgeries to children to like, you know, trans-affirming surgeries to children. That's not happening. It was never happening. But she put them on blast, claimed that they were, and they get bomb threats every single day. To this day. That is what the right-wing ecosphere can do. Terrorizing you is an understatement. I mean, I went through this too. I talked about my kid's teacher who was, you know, in health class talking about how she doesn't agree with, quote unquote, being trans or being gay. You should save sex until marriage. You need to have moral parents who believe in God. You can't be moral without God and all this other stuff. And I reported the teacher, and the entire town came after me. It was insane. A town of 3,400 people, like 1,800 or something, or 1,900, were on a Facebook page dedicated to doxing me and taking me down. I mean, it doesn't hurt me really, like, emotionally, like, you know, whatever. I mean, I didn't agree with these people anyway. I don't care. But to have a car honking their horn at you, literally, every 45 seconds, all day and all night as they pass. Having people looking in your windows, taking pictures through your windows, having to keep your blinds closed, not seeing sunlight for days because you can't open your windows. All that stuff sucks. Having tires slashed and everything. That's what these people bring. Okay, and I'm impartial here. I don't believe that this is right, whether it's on the left or the right. I don't think that it's okay to do, no matter who's doing it. Just so happens that, to my knowledge, literally all of this stochastic terrorism is happening on the right. I don't know of a single left-wing stochastic terrorist. I'm willing to be corrected on that. That's what this does. That's what Stu Peters is doing to NYC Gay Dad, to an audience of Nazis. Millions. I mean, keep listening here.
new viral TikTok video by some creep named Jose Rolón, who goes by the handle of NYC Gay Dad.
So one more thing, he didn't, Stu Peters blurred the kids' faces here. He didn't blur them in his like 20-minute long segment or whatever.
And in this video, this homosexual and these 4 kids who call him dad talk about how he takes them to drag shows and buys them sex toys. They even
That's false. I'm sure. I don't even need to say it, but I will.
Go so far as to take viewers for a tour of his closet, where one of his daughters shows off his cross-dressing wigs, and of course, he throws in a line about how he wants to bang Travis Kelce.
That didn't happen.
It's truly so utterly disgusting. I mean, I just can't explain it. All you can do is take a look. Try to digest this.
All right, so if you don't know the video, what was happening was it was a satirical video where he's pretending to be this thing that all of the right-wing nutcases hate. He's not actually like this, and it's very clear that it's satirical. You'll see in a second.
Yes.
We have a gay dad. Of course we have disco balls and rainbows all over the house.
That's satirical. They don't have disco balls and rainbows all over the house. It's a joke. I mean, how did that slip by? Does anything pierce that granite skull of yours?
And in the caption, he not only tags me, but he also tags the NYPD and says they should open up a sex crime investigation against me and my family. This D-list version of Tucker Carlson decided for his own benefit and likes that he would create a false narrative.
I know Stu Peters. I mean, I've been following him for a long time, and calling him a Tucker Carlson might not be doing Stu Peters' extremism justice. Like, you may be downplaying it by calling him D-list Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson defends Nazis a lot of the time, and he kind of dog whistles to Nazi stuff. Stu Peters is a Nazi. Okay, he straight up believes this stuff about Hitler being great and everything else. And then when called out on it, he just denies it. He just says, "Oh, I didn't say that." I literally have him on recording saying it. Yeah, here we go. Here is just one example of Stu Peters praising Hitler. Like, I just want to put this on record so everybody understands this. And just in case of any, like, legal action or anything, I'm pretty covered here, I figure.
It was war. Horrific things happened. Lots of people died. It was World War II. I don't believe that World War II happened as a result of the Holocaust. I don't believe that that was the reason for the war. And I'm asking a lot of questions about that. People don't like when I ask a lot of questions about that.
No, go nuts. You can ask as many questions as you want. The questions aren't the problem. I ask these questions. I'm super interested. You are telling people the answers like you're a historian, like you've gone through this information, these books and these old records, and come to your own independent conclusion after reading it in its original language like a historian does. That's the problem, not asking the questions. Quick interjection, this won't take long, I promise. I'd appreciate it if you watched to the end of the video, or at least a couple extra seconds, because YouTube bases its algorithm off of watch time. The more watch time a video has, the further the video will go. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally. The 100 questions are intended to challenge your religious leader, so I'd appreciate it if you give it a read. Okay, back to the video.
When I ask a lot of questions about that. Hitler may have been an evil dictator, a ruthless person that murdered millions of people. I don't know, because of the propaganda that surrounds every war.
Really? The Nazis kept records of this, okay? They were impeccable record keepers. We don't need to look at the victor's version of history. We can look at Hitler's words. I mean, I have AI reconstructions of his speeches in English that I've covered on my channels like 1,000 times. He hated Jews and he wanted them dead, and he explicitly said so.
War. But for this, wasn't he a hero? Wasn't Hitler doing the right thing when he ordered these books to be burned and these places to be stormed by force?
Hitler was a hero. You heard it here first.
Well, even if he didn't order it, at least the people that followed him knew what to do, and he wasn't going to complain about it. Yeah, this is what needed to be done. If you're going to save a civilization, I mean, the civilization was dying. This was the Prussian Empire was.
Prussia, I believe, was a German state at the time in World War II, a World War I, World War II era.
Something that was emulated by countries all over the world. The United States adopted their education system for better, for worse. People looked at their army.
By the way, don't believe a word out of their mouths right now, okay? Like, everything that these people say should be suspect. I mean, I'm not saying it's all false. Just verify it. Everything. Even if it's trivial. Even if you think this is common knowledge. Fact check it.
System for better, for worse. People looked at their army, people looked at their military, and they modeled their military after their military. And it was reduced to 42nd Street in the 1970s, where every perversion was available. The
42nd Street in the 90s? Is that what he said?
Street in the 1970s.
Oh, 70s. Okay. I assume he's talking about New York City. 42nd Street is Times Square? Sure, Times Square was absolutely nuts back then. It had serial killers and all kinds of crazy stuff. I live in New York City. And as soon as we took lead out of gasoline. Just like that, serial killers went away, and all of the, you know, prostitution and the drug trade and everything else reduced dramatically. Weird how that works, huh? That's neither here nor there.
Every perversion was available. The German people were embarrassed to be German. They were the Prussian people. The Prussian spirit was lost.
It's just completely false.
Anything that needed to be done to stop what was happening needed to be done. People complain.
Anything needed to be done is justified, is what he's just said. Whatever it takes to stop perversion, quote unquote, which means gay people just being in society, trans people existing, just being a part of society, burn as many books as it takes, take out as many people as is necessary, whatever. Just stop the perversion, quote unquote. He's praising Hitler, right?
Oh, when Hitler came to power, he made it illegal. All the National Socialists were the only political party that was legal after that. Well, desperate times, desperate measures. Mm-hmm. You have to do that. If you think that the
desperate times, desperate measures. Dude is justifying Hitler abolishing political parties. Okay, that's Stu Peters. I mean, well, this isn't Stu Peters, but this is who Stu Peters brought on. And Stu Peters did a few minutes ago say Hitler was a hero for the things that he did in World War II. That's Stu Peters being a Nazi, right? Is that fair to say? In my opinion, Stu Peters is a Nazi. And he comes out here and says all this stupid like this line he had on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Yesterday, Newsweek called me a pro-Hitler Nazi.
Yep.
Story called me a pro-Hitler Nazi. I don't know how these people get I mean, they said that I was a Holocaust denier, which is completely false.
Yep. No, 100% real. We just listened to it.
Yep. Emphatically false. As a matter of fact, they made up a quote out of whole cloth and said, Stu Peters said, quote, Hitler is a hero.
He literally said it, okay? He literally said those words. And he's saying they made it up. Really? The guy just lies. He just lies, and he knows he's lying in this case. I keep wondering to myself, like, are these people dumb as dog shit, or are they just, like, intentionally deceiving people to further their own goals? At least in Stu Peters' case, I can confidently say he's lying. He's deceiving people to further his own goals, right? Quick interjection. This won't take long, I promise. I just want to say I'd appreciate it if you check my Patreon. OwenMorgan.com/Patreon to find it. YouTube's algorithm goes up and down, so I can never predict where it's going to be. Having patrons gives me some level of stability. Okay, back to the video.
They made up a quote out of whole cloth and said, Stu Peters said, quote, Hitler is a hero. I have never said any such thing. And they can print this stuff with impunity because the hubris is so, because there's no accountability.
Right. So you should be able to force people to stop talking. He's not pro-free speech. He pretends to be, but just like he pretends to not be a Nazi, he doesn't stand for free speech either. Never did.
Because there's no accountability. Yep. And so they did this as a result of me announcing the Extreme Accountability event.
Okay.
And that's what we are going to, before I take my last breath, we're going to exact extreme accountability on these people for what they're doing to our kids.
Yeah.
When he says these people for what they're doing to our kids, he means gay people for existing in society, simply being gay. Not even doing a gay act, just being gay, admitting, coming out and saying, I'm gay. And when he says extreme accountability, you know, I'll let NYC gay dad explain what that means in a second. Keep listening to this.
Create a false narrative. Clearly, as most of you know, he can't even count. I don't know where he got 4 kids from, unless, Stu, maybe you want to be my new kid and I can show you a few lessons. I could be your daddy.
That's painful. I'm sorry, man. That term has always... I love NYC gay dad to death. Just want to qualify what I'm about to say. He is the shit, and he deserves to be supported, especially through this stuff. But I've never been a fan of that term, and since having a kid, that term actively makes me want to projectile vomit. God, it's painful. Okay, we're going to pretend he didn't say that.
Nowhere in there do I say I want to bang Travis Kelce, and he also says that I purposely and intentionally sold them something other than what I thought were bracelets. And then he goes on to do this.
This is the type.
Right, so this right here is what Stu Peters is talking about. These bracelets, are these like somehow linked to sexuality? I don't know. Are these? He said they're sex toys. I have no clue what he's talking about. Are these not just bracelets? They look like the snap bracelets. You know, I had these when I was little. Snap them onto your wrist. Isn't that what they are? This is what Stu Peters means when he says the dad is showing them his sex toys. These right here, these bracelets. Are these like, how would you even use these in that scenario? I can't imagine a situation in which you could use these in a sexual way. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just like lost. Anyway, just keep listening here.
And then he goes on to do this.
This is the type of country that we're living in right now. Some pervert homo has access to at least 4 kids around the clock, all the time. You can take them to drag conventions and then post the evidence. Post pictures and videos of criminal sexual conduct, or at minimum, lewd and lascivious behavior on.
Really? Criminal sexual conduct. That's not happening. At no point was there ever any kind of sexual anything. He never did anything at all around his kids that was questionable. In fact, I haven't seen a single video where he's done anything questionable, aside from maybe that daddy line. Ugh. Stu Peters just full of shit here. And he said he downplays it. But at minimum, lewd and lascivious behavior. Oh, so you're just like censoring free speech now. You're just not allowed to say what you want to say on the internet. Okay. You sure you want to go down this road, Stu? There are a lot of people who would like to censor you. That's what he was complaining about earlier. He had an extreme accountability conference that the venue canceled on him, and the ticketing system, Eventbrite, canceled on him too, because they don't want to work with a Nazi, full-blown Nazi. And he's complaining about it like he should have free speech. Either you have free speech or you don't. When you see contradictory things like this, stuff that reveals a deep hypocrisy in your moral system, it's not because Stu Peters has a contradictory moral system. He doesn't, in my opinion. In fact, I think that almost nobody, I don't know of a single person who has a contradictory moral system. They have a moral system that they won't admit to sometimes. There are people who want gay people dead, but don't want to say that. Like Stu Peters, maybe he doesn't want to come out and say, I want free speech. I don't want them to have free speech. But that's his belief. That's his moral system. When you find contradictory things like this, it's evidence, in my opinion, that there's a larger framework here that is not being exposed, that we're not looking at.
Post pictures and videos of criminal sexual conduct, or at minimum, lewd and lascivious behavior online, and somehow not end up in jail, or better yet, the gallows.
I don't need to defend.
That's extreme accountability, the gallows. Stu Peters has said, quote, I want to hang them from a thick rope until they are dead, end quote. Okay, I have that quote, but I can't go down a whole rabbit hole here. The point is that he wants this guy dead. He wants every gay person dead.
I don't need to defend myself in a parody that I created. This guy is literally accusing me of sex crimes. But Stu, it's people like you that are destroying this country. It's people like you that should be reported to the authorities. You're
100%. He's a stochastic terrorist. It should be illegal to be a stochastic terrorist, just like it's illegal to be a domestic terrorist. They're the same thing in my mind. Stochastic terrorism, if you don't know, is where somebody demonizes another person, talks about them nonstop to the point that their followers are guaranteed to do some lone wolf attack, but the attack itself can't be predicted, like where it's going to be and who it's going to be. Libs of TikTok is a great example of stochastic terrorism. This is a term that's existed for like ever. And because of the free speech laws in the United States, stochastic terrorism is not illegal. My overarching moral framework is one where you can say absolutely anything, including speech that others hate, until you are leading to somebody's death or leading to serious imminent harm. That's what the U.S. is supposed to be, but for some reason it's just like not happening that way.
No different than what the guys at Fox News does. He's called me a deviant, pervert, a creep. Now, Stu, I don't know how to handle you, to be honest. I don't know if I should ask my followers to just come love bomb you or report you, or worse, should I send my gay mafia There is a gay mafia.
I knew it! I knew it! He's finally confirming it for me.
And they're nasty.
Yeah, they are. It's bad in New York City. No, I'm just kidding.
I think you're scared. I think you're scared of losing. You're scared of losing all the privilege that you think you have. But coming after me and my children and my family, it's not it. It's not gonna progress your cause. And
well, I mean, his cause is to get gay people to die. So, you know, it is gonna progress his cause if his cause is grotesque and evil. Unfortunately, just my God, dude. What I want to know about Stu Peters' childhood. What was it in his life that like led him down this path? Was he always a Nazi? Were his parents Nazis? I am so curious.
Cause, and I don't know if you're a parent or not, but if you are, God bless your children, because that's where the real crime is.
Just like Stu Peters was, I'm assuming, propagandized, bombarded with Nazi propaganda from a young age, I presume. Just like that, I imagine that his kids are also being bombarded with Nazi propaganda. Just wild. Did not end there, though. Didn't end there. Fascinatingly, Stu Peters was forced to take these videos down. Not forced. The bottom line is NYC gay dad sent a cease and desist letter, which is like a warning letter. He had a lawyer write it up. They're not easy to write unless you're like a lawyer. You know what it is. It's a warning that there's legal action imminent if you don't stop and take the videos down and everything. And the cease and desist absolutely had teeth. This dude 100% could have sued Stu Peters for defamation and stuff. I'm sure of it. Any lawyer would have taken that case. And it would have tied Stu Peters up in litigation for who knows how long. Tons of money and everything. Even if Stu Peters didn't lose, if he like won and he didn't have to pay the money, he just paid a ton of money for lawyers, didn't he? Either way, he loses here. That's why I'm very careful about never defaming anybody. I don't ever want to frame something as like, I know for a fact that Stu Peters is a supporter of Hitler because blah, blah, blah. I only go on the words that they say, and I state very clearly that it's my opinion. Anyway, he sent a cease and desist to Stu Peters, and Stu took all of the videos down that mentioned this guy, I guess. And that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Unfortunately, Stu is doing all of the same stuff to other people right now who don't have the resources to bring a lawsuit against him. Honestly, it's not just Stu Peters. Like, libs of TikTok defames people all the time and ruins their lives, puts them in danger, like I was, for example. People looking in my windows, taking pictures through the shades, slashing my tires, honking their horn every 45 seconds. It's not good. There are stochastic terrorists out there, and I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to support them when we hear about this. We need to talk about it. Make sure everybody is aware that these people are stochastic terrorists and follow these people. Give them some encouragement and support. Again, this happened in February 2024, so this is probably behind him now, but it's a good opportunity to talk about Stu Peters and what he's up to and why it's harmful. Listen to the second part of this Stu Peters saga. This is just a few days later, I believe.
I want to update everybody on my last post on Stu Peters, who has put me, my kids, and my family in danger. He not only accused me of sex crimes while tagging the NYPD, asking for my arrest, but he even said that I should be met at the gallows. This translates into me being hung in public, to die. After discovering some things last night, this man actually has a much larger following than any of us anticipated. He has about 1 million followers, over 500,000 where he houses his news channel on Rumble.
Yeah, he's very, very big and influential. He should not be underestimated. He's like, I think about who to compare him to. Like, honestly, he's probably like Tucker Carlson today or Glenn Beck. Not at their height when they were on Fox News, but today. He's at least as big as Alex Jones, I would say. Yeah, he has 500,000 on Rumble, but he's got his own like website, his own podcast serving stuff where he serves ads and, you know, all this other stuff to everybody. So he's gigantic, and it's hard to estimate, but we can get a pretty rough idea.
The video that you guys saw happened to just be a snippet. The things that he was saying about me was part of a 54-minute news segment. As you can see, he not only has me part of this segment, but he has me even part of another 14-minute segment. And he doesn't even blur my kids' faces out. In the longer version, he even has a commentator by the name of John Miller saying things like this.
Okay, John Miller is... Okay, just listen. I'll tell you about John Miller in a second.
This is why these people shouldn't have children. You know, we keep on hearing, oh, well, what can a gay dad do? What can a straight parent do that a gay dad can't? They don't do that, okay? They don't take their kids around their closet and show them their toys. That
didn't happen. What is he talking about? They were wearing bracelets. Is that what he means? I don't understand. Also about John Miller, the name. Forever ago, before Donald Trump was like as big as he is now, he used to call into like news agencies as Donald Trump's press officer or whatever. And it was very obviously his voice. There are recordings of this. Like, you can listen to Donald Trump pretending to be his own press person named John Miller. It's kind of funny. It's such a common name, I guess, that it's used as a fake name because it's believable. Is that really this guy's name? I guess it could be.
Okay, they don't take their kids around their closet and show them their toys.
And here are some of just a few comments from the people that are watching his segments. Freak show, kill the filthy clown, execute, it just goes on and on. But the one that really got to me, that shows me what kind of people are in this world, is this one. That fake dad deserves a necktie, ... party. I deserve a hanging party. And look at a reply to this one. Great name. And yes, he needs a Colombian necktie or to be thrown a boot party. A steel-toed dock to the head is the cure for what ails him.
That's psychotic. That is stochastic terrorism right there. That is Stu Peters' effect on the world. Oh, somebody said nice name, and I wondered what it was. It's ENWORDSTORY. N-word story. I don't know what that means exactly, but I know that it's a shout out to like the N-word. So, and somebody else says that's a great name. Fantastic.
So, I'm fine. The kids are completely unaware. They will someday, obviously. But these are the people...
Not necessarily, obviously. They may not. You know, it feels like it's intense in the moment, but it's not as easy to track this information down or to find these hate campaigns. Especially like 20 years in the future. They may not even have any idea. Either way, it's wrong. It shouldn't have happened.
But these are the people that are out there. And I'm doing everything that I need to do on my end. And I thank all of you for all the love and support you guys have shown over the last couple days. But this is a big problem. Stu Peters is not just anti-LGBTQ. He's anti-Jew. He's a Holocaust denier. And so much more. We need to hold these platforms accountable, including Rumble. Rumble, even if you look under the terms and conditions, his website is filled with so much hate and propaganda, and Rumble has been allowing this. It fails the terms and conditions. The first one alone says, you may not post or transmit any messages which is libelous, defamatory, or which discloses private or personal matters concerning any person or entity.
No doxing, I guess. This might actually be like a legal protection for Rumble, like they're trying to protect themselves legally. They don't enforce any of this stuff. I see this stuff all the time.
Number 5, you may not post or transmit any message which is abusive, inciting violence, harassing, harmful, hateful, anti-Semitic, racist, or threatening.
That's like constant on Rumble, really?
And he does most of those things in just one video. And in a lot of the videos, he doesn't name drop a lot of people, but he not only names my name, names my business, but has my children on there too. So all this is to say, it's not just our family that's in danger, it's all of our families that are in danger. These are the people that are out there. It's important that all of us collectively hold him and these sites, including social media platforms, accountable. The media needs to know about this.
And when he says accountable, he doesn't mean extreme accountability like Stu Peters. He means spread the word, talk about this, spread awareness about the fact that there is a Nazi in our midst who is using stochastic terrorism as a weapon against the LGBT community. Get it on the media. Make him absolutely toxic to talk about or to watch or whatever. Alex Jones, once upon a time, I don't know about now, was so toxic to talk about. Nobody would admit to even knowing the guy because not only was he a conspiracy theorist, but he lied and propagandized and doxed the people who lost kids at Sandy Hook. Stu Peters is Alex Jones making fun of that situation, the Sandy Hook situation, pretending it didn't happen. Stu Peters is trying to, seemingly, make that situation happen against his enemies. We need to make this guy as toxic as Alex Jones, as far as, like, media goes or whatever. Anyway, yeah, tell me what you think about it in the comments. This is just insane. Sorry for NYC Gay Dad that he had to deal with all of that. But, you know, if you're watching, I know the feeling. I've been there, 100%. Hopefully you got people who care. I personally had to, like, flee the state. I put a mask on and a hood over my head, and we were driving, and my wife would get out at a gas station every 30 minutes or so and check the newspaper to see if I was in it. If I was in it, then I would, you know, I'm not going to get out because people in that town know who I am too. It was insane. And that was somebody without a big platform to attack me. Stu Peters has a big platform. I don't know how you got through this if you're watching this. That's crazy. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. If you have any encouraging comments for NYC Gay Dad, there's a possibility he might check this. So leave them in the comments and show him some support. LRJ, Lou, I have ideas of how to use a snap bracelet sexually, but I'll keep it to myself. Okay. You know what? If I gave it some hard, introspective thought, which I might do tonight, might just sit in bed, you know? I usually watch a TV show for an hour or two before I finally get to sleep. I have it playing in the background. Maybe I'll just turn the TV off and I'll sit down and I'll really think about how to use these in a gay way. It has to be in a gay way. It can't just be in a straight way.